Are you surprised who the real thug is? You might think it's the kid on the subway. You know the one that I'm talking about, that you look out the corner of your eye, that's standing there looking like he got ants in his pants moving all around, thinking that he's gonna rob you, maybe possibly even take from you what you have. But let me tell you something. No, that is not who the real thug is. See, the real thug is sitting in an office with an expensive rug, wearing designer shoes and designer heels, and they're robbing you each and every time, and you're letting them do as much as they feel. See, they never have to go to jail because they can make bond. But the thing about it is, if they pay themselves $10,000 an hour and send their workers in debt into Schitt's Creek, but we still can't see who the real thug is, because now they wear a tie, not a hat or a cap. Now they don't wear a jacket or a hoodie. They wear Brooks Brothers suits or Louis Vuitton shoes. And they sit there and have brunch while your ass is starving because you don't have any lunch. But let me ask you, and you don't want to admit this, who is the real thug? Is it you? Just checking.
You cut the music off in the middle of my dance. I was feeling it.
I know, Ben.
That was really great. Hassan. That was so great. Who's the real thug?
Yes.
Yeah. Who is the real thug, Hassan?
Yeah.
But I like the way you got emotional there, and you know, I admit that, you know, I'm very white, but I started feeling. I felt the movement. I needed to move.
Okay, you felt the movement.
I felt it coming through me, and then you turn my music off.
Yeah.
Just like I started feeling it. But who is the real thug, Hassan?
Well, you know, that's the real question, because, you know, we're very much affected by image.
Well, what I heard, let me see if I read the song correctly. Like you were saying that when people are on the train and a young, let's say, black guy comes in and his pants are down a little and he's all nervous, he's all hyped up.
Yeah.
He seems like the thug.
Yes.
But it's actually like the guys on Wall Street who are robbing us blind. That's who the real thug is.
Or usually the person who you going to work for that corporation.
I see what you're saying. So anyway, we're Epstein and Hassan, the dirty truth tellers, and as we started doing last week, we're going to do the news for you because there is no news. Though there's plenty of news. There's a million channels showing you news, but it's all lies. We all know that.
Yes.
Whether it's CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, ABC, they're all lying. The New York Times, the Washington Post, the Atlantic, they are all lying to you. Now, on the internet, they keep getting rid of all the progressive kind of news shows because they're saying they're passing misinformation. So I guess when the New York Times and the Washington Post said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, that wasn't misinformation. No. So anyway, we're going to give you the news. The dirty truth tellers, Epstein and Hassan. We're going to give you the news, and are we going to open with that music?
Well, yes, we are.
So we're going to really be. We're going to try to get more professional. Like you may have noticed, some people may have noticed that this show doesn't seem that professional. So we want to get more professional now. I'm tired of these comments that we're getting that it's not professional.
Yeah, well, we told you we were trapped in our apartment.
Right, we told you that.
What the hell do you expect?
You know,
and you ain't sending us no contribution, so it is.
So let's get let's get more.
So we're gonna do the thing like they go like this, and you ever notice they're always chatty and really. So we're gonna do all of that, and then we're gonna do the news. Okay. So let's put on the thing.
Can we do the chatty thing? That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Wait, you gotta have the music.
Oh, we need the music.
Okay. Here we go.
We're Epstein and Hassan, and I'm not professional. Let me
no,
start
you're
that again.
not.
Let's do that again. I need it again.
Okay.
I got a little shook up there. Let's try that again. We're going to try that one more time.
Yeah, you ready?
Here
Okay,
we go.
here we go.
Good evening. We're Epstein and Hassan, the dirty truth tellers.
Yes.
And this is the news. So, David Gellis in the New York Times reports on corporate America's CEOs. You know, we've all seen those large advertisements by big companies praising the sacrifices of their brave workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, when workers ask for living wages, their bosses say no. Drop dead, kiss my ass, fuck you. But what's interesting is the CEOs find plenty of money for themselves. Now, this is coming from the New York Times. This is about as official as it gets,
you can't
right?
get any more official. Yeah.
David Gellis reports that Boeing, after its criminal negligence, brought down 2 737 planes and killed 346 people. They went into a corporate tailspin. The company was forced to lay off 30,000 workers. You heard that correctly. 30,000 workers.
Unbelievable.
And its sales and stocks plummeted at a reported loss of $12 billion. Now, for those of you who don't remember the story, Boeing put up some new planes, but decided that the software that was necessary to make these planes work was very expensive. And somehow, I guess because they bought off the Senate and the Congress, somehow they were allowed to send these planes up. These are planes, and this is Boeing. When you go onto a plane, and it's a Boeing plane, you assume that they have good,
I'm assuming that.
software. I never actually thought about that,
Yeah.
but I was assuming. I would hope that they have professional
Yes.
pilots and crap like that.
Yes.
But anyway, 346 people died on these 2 737 MAX planes. The company lost $12 billion, and they fired 30,000 people. Just imagine how many people are affected by 30,000 people getting fired.
Goodness.
That's a lot of human beings, right? No matter. The new Boeing boss, David Calhoun, their new CEO, is paying himself $10,500 an hour for his 40-hour work week, plus benefits and perks. When you said 10,000, that wasn't even enough.
No.
This guy, David Calhoun, is making $10,500 an hour, so he makes about $80,000-$90,000.
Do you know there are people that don't make that a year?
He's making that an hour. He makes about $80,000 to $90,000 a day, basically. So you can figure that out, you math geniuses. Plus, he gets benefits and perks. So, David Gellis from the New York Times, I got to give him credit because he's the one who's we're basing this off of his thing. He says executives are minting fortunes while laid-off workers are lining up at food banks. Carefully chosen boards of directors rubber stamp lavish compensation packages for their CEOs as they haul in big money for themselves. Now, what's very interesting, Hassan, is that they're paying this guy $80,000 a day. Meanwhile, they lost billions of dollars. So there has to be a reason, because the rich people who run the board of directors, they're not nice people. They don't want to help the CEO either. So that just shows that these CEOs, they're in there to do other things, stock buyout, all the kind of crap that I don't have a clue about. But you're not paying a guy $10,500
because
a
you
day.
like his smile,
right? But just imagine if maybe they could have only laid off maybe a few thousand less people. If David, let's say they gave him $1,000 an hour. You know, that's still pretty good money, like $8,000 a day. I mean, really? But no, Dave gets $10,000 an hour. And Boeing, here's my point about this, Hassan. No one should get on a Boeing plane ever again, because they've proven to us that they don't care if the plane crashes. They're going to try to save money. This is a plane. This is not like a minor thing, like a toothbrush or something.
Can you imagine that board meeting when they're sitting there and they're going, it's just a couple of flights. It's not really high-end international flights.
It is high-end international flights. They weren't saying that.
I'm being facetious in terms of what kind of meeting were they sitting in when they made the decision, let's fuck with the software. They made a decision.
No, they definitely
to
made
do
that decision.
Somebody sat in a meeting
because they didn't want to spend the money. But I didn't know what fascistas is. But
I
whatever
didn't
that
say
is,
that.
you said fascistas.
I did not say
So
that.
that's just one CEO. This is our opening. We're doing CEOs and who the real thugs are. So I'm going to suggest to you that a company that let 2 planes crash, 346 people died. Just imagine that. They laid off 30,000 workers. They had a $12 billion loss. Yet their boss is getting Dave Calhoun. He's getting $10,500 a week. Now that's pretty much.
Would you say Mr. Calhoun is
a thug?
gangster?
Yeah, he seems to me to be a thug. I'm going to go on record, and I'm going to stretch it right now. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to say that David Calhoun is a fucking thug. Yeah. You know, I don't know what kind of music he listens to. He may not listen to hip hop.
Most likely,
you know,
opera.
He probably goes to the opera when he hangs out with his friends.
Yes.
You know, at the
Lincoln
country
Center,
club.
and
He
they
golfs.
give money to artists, but only a certain kind
out of that $10,500, he probably gives. You know, he gives a little bit money to charity and stuff. Yeah. Charity that he personally supports, not really just charity.
Yeah.
So I would say he's a thug.
Yeah.
So that's our first story tonight on Epstein and Hassan's Dirty Truth Tellers. And unlike other news teams, we're now going to kiss. Oh, she won't kiss because of the makeup?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You think Sue Simmons was going to kiss?
Sue Simmons.
Yes, yes. And now back from our commercial.
Back to the news.
Back to the news. T-Mobile's merger with Sprint got government antitrust approval with the assurance that more jobs would be created with the cost of savings. Instead, they started laying off while awarding CEO Mike Servat over $1 million a week.
Ooh.
Sometimes.
$1 million a week?
Yes.
Wow.
$1 million a week.
David Calhoun is going to shine that guy's shoes.
Yes,
I mean, this guy's making serious
money. Can you let me do my news?
No, it was so shocking, the story.
Well, my man makes more, my thug makes more money.
Yeah. I love the smoothness in your voice.
Yeah, that's the news voice.
Yeah, very smooth.
That's the news voice. Sometimes CEOs make more dollars from their company than the entire company itself makes in profit. So let's play detective. If they're giving the CEO more money than they make in profit, what's going on there? Figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Companies that lay off workers pay their top executives huge amounts and still have the audacity to demand and get federal stimulus grants.
You know, reading these stories isn't as easy as it looks on TV. Like, my mouth was having all kinds of problems, like getting words out, and
I didn't have that experience whatsoever.
Listening to me, you felt that I was very smooth?
I don't think you were as smooth as I was, but I'm using that smooth voice right now.
But I'm just saying that reading this stuff is not as easy as it looks.
Well, you want to comment.
Yeah, I do. I want to comment on every single word.
So every single sentence that comes out, you got to say
something.
You can't do that really on the news, my dear.
Okay, I'm going to start working on my new, because this is going to be a regular feature of our show.
You give the news and you give it straight.
I give it straight. Can I practice that one more time? I'll read just the first 2 sentences.
Read the first 2 sentences. Go ahead. And now the news.
David Gellis reports that Boeing, after its criminal... See that criminal... I got that wrong the first time. I'm struggling with this. Let me try that again.
Because you want to comment.
You think that's what it is?
Absolutely.
You really do think that.
You want to comment.
Yeah, all right, let me try it again.
Okay.
David Gellis reports that Boeing, after its criminal negligence brought down 2 737 MAX planes and killed 346 people, they went into a corporate tailspin. See, what it is that...
See, you commenting.
No, I'm realizing what it is. I want to relate. I have to read and also relate to the camera, which is a little confusing to me. It's
you know where. That's why you have where you take a pause. Like, watch this. T-Mobile's merge with Sprint.
Were you supposed to say T twice? Because you went T.
Looking for something?
You know, when you talk like that, though, can we get off the news for a minute?
I want to do my line perfectly.
Can you tell me something like Big Daddy?
Okay, I'll put that in there right after I do a line.
Okay.
T-Mobile's merge with Sprint got government
Wasn't it merger?
We'll try it again. T-Mobile's merger with Sprint got government antitrust approval with the assurance that more jobs would be created with the cost of savings. And tonight I am gonna ride Epstein's cock like he is a horse with no motherfucking name.
Ooh. Ready? I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out on the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name. And there ain't no one there to give you some shame.
La, da, da, da,
All right. See,
okay.
now do they do that on your local news?
No, they don't. No,
You
they
heard,
don't.
and that was beautiful. The way you said you're gonna ride me like a horse.
That's
Wow,
right.
that was
That's right.
impressive. That was impressive.
I tried to think of Mr. Ed, but I couldn't.
Wow. So anyway, the CEOs in America, I don't know what's going on in this country as I come out every week on this show, and I try my best to understand human beings. You know, you need to make $1 million a week, really. Like, you need $1 million a week while your workers are getting like fired, or they have to go on, food stamps. What is wrong with this country? What is wrong with people? Like, what is it? What goes on?
I think it starts with they don't look at the people who are working with them as equal, and probably not even human.
I don't really know what it is, Hassan. I think
Well, why else would you treat someone like that if you don't see them as that? It's a class thing. It's worker and owner, slave
and master. And another thing, I think that in the corporate America, the bigger psychopath you are, the bigger sociopath you are, the more you move up the ladder.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, these people are total sociopaths and psychopaths. They're also all hoarders because, like, Jeff Bezos, a guy, you already have $200 billion.
Bezos.
I don't want to learn his name. I'm going to call him Bezos.
Okay.
You know, the only thing Jeff Bezos. Oh, by the way, Bill Gates and his wife just filed for divorce too. So it seems like billions doesn't even hold it. These guys are so lame in bed that they can't please their women with $200 billion in the bank. I'm a guy with like $80. This woman loves me. You heard she'll ride. I'm going to ride her like Mr. Ed.
That's right.
Mr. Ed. I'm the Jewish Mr. Ed. I'm Mr. I'm Mr. Mendel. I'm Mr. Mendel. You know, when I come, I pray. Baruch atah Adonai.
Oh, stop it! You're turning me on. Stop it!
If I was a rich man, all day long I'd biddle biddle bum. If I was a wealthy man, yes. Well, that's the news part of our show. Hope you enjoyed it. And so, Hassan, I think we're right. I think that it's a lot of psychopaths, a lot of sociopaths.
Yes.
People that have 200 million, and they're hoarders. They just hoard numbers. Like, when you have $200 billion, you really don't need any more. And Bezos is refusing he breaks unions. He refuses to give people that worked, during the corona. We act like the corona is over. That's another thing. Let me tell you something. The whole thing with vaccines isn't about health. It's about getting America back to shopping, going out to dinner, going to games. Because I mentioned to a friend of mine, Hassan, about the whole vaccine thing, that it was actually, Trump was the one who got that going. He told everybody that we're going to warp speed.
Yeah.
We're not going to follow the rules.
That was the term he used.
Warp. Right. Trump did that, though. And everybody at the beginning was like, no, you can't do that with a virus. We have to have a 5-year waiting period. We have to make sure. But now everybody is like loving
warp speed.
They're on Facebook. You can't stop reading. I felt this from, and it's like bonding, vaccine bonding.
What does the word vaccine mean? That's all we're going to say.
That's all I'm going to say.
What does it mean?
But I find it amazing. So I'm not telling you not to take vaccines, and hopefully the vaccines are
We
going to work.
don't want to get sick. We don't want to see anybody sick.
I just want people to give credit to Trump, because it was his idea to break all the rules to get the vaccines out as quickly as possible. And I really don't need to know, every single... I don't want to know when you're getting a colonoscopy or, if you're having a wisdom tooth extracted. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know about your vaccine developments,
Yes.
It's just the way it is.
Yes.
So anyway, that's the news. Can we get the music again, or is the music done?
Okay, you want to hear the music?
Yes,
okay.
As you go out of the news, there should be music.
Okay, is there anything you want to tell them about tomorrow?
Tomorrow's news? We have to wait for tomorrow to get to the news. You can't give a preview of tomorrow's news.
No, they always say something.
My prediction is...
And tomorrow, Let's have a better day. And from Epstein and Hassan, we wish you good night.
I'm talking at. Yeah.
That's our news.
Oh, I hear someone knocking.
What was your hand going like that for? I'll see who's at the door.
She's at the door.
Yes.
That's my my co-anchor, the wonderful Naima Hassan.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that somebody really has to explain to me, like, why a company that's losing $12 billion, somebody probably knows about this. Why are you paying $10,500 to your CEO? What does that CEO do that makes him earn that kind of money? You know, I remember reading that I think he was the CEO of Dunkin' Donuts, makes like $21,000 an hour. And I'm thinking, like, okay, like, I understand that the CEO, the boss, should get a good paycheck. It's not like I don't want them to work for minimum wage. But it just seems like there's no reason for somebody to make that much money while you're laying off employees and your company is losing money. Something fishy is about that. Like, why would they pay you so much money? So there has to be some kind of scam going on. And from what I read, it has a lot to do with these stock buybacks. Like, they give them money and they say they're going to invest it in workers and in equipment, but then they just buy back the stocks and they make a lot of money for the stock. If you know about this stuff, if you're one of those people that watch this show that knows this, I know some of my friends that watch this show know more about this than I do. Let me know what that's about. Because to me, this is just more American greed, American insanity, and the end, a prediction of the end of times. I mean, this is just, this stuff is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. 30,000 people lose their job, and some douchebag is making $10,000 an hour? 10,500, excuse me. So, if you can get that to me, I would definitely appreciate that. You know, we're going to work on our news delivery. I know my delivery tonight was a little shaky, but I was a little nervous. It was my first time, and you know, as she says, like, I have a hard time because I want to comment on every single sentence that I read. Like, I see something here, I'm going like, wow, executives are mining fortunes while laid-off workers line up at food banks. Now, do people not have any empathy? Do people at the top have no compassion? In this same article from David, let me read his name again, David Gellis in the New York Times, he also mentioned that someone went to the guy who runs Apple and was talking to them about maybe raising the salary of the Chinese slaves who make their products. And he said they're not actually slaves; they're more like serfs, you know. And he didn't say that. I'm saying that because they do get paid something. But he actually said, no, we're not going to pay them any extra money. We are going to continue to pay them what they make because I need to have 13 yachts, I guess. What is wrong with these people? Like, what about compassion? What about kindness? What about looking at your workers as being your brother man? I mean, I'm not saying that you have to have be a Christian or a socialist or a Buddhist. How about just being a regular human being? Like, aren't you a little guilty that you are living, you know, making 10 grand an hour while your company, you're running it into the ground? Or is your job to run your company in the ground so that you can fire lots of people and then sell it to some other, you know, I don't really know how this, come on in. I don't really know how this works, but I'm going to start investigating now that I'm a newsman. Up until now, I've been a struggling comedian and work in jazz clubs and bars. But now that I'm a newsman, I feel like I need to know more. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Joe Keys. Joe, welcome aboard. Make sure you're in the shot, Joe. There you go.
I ain't saying shit unless I get in the shot, man, trying to get this hat together.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's looking good.
Look all right, man.
Yeah.
Don't be gay on me, man. Not that I mind, but...
Oh, yeah, you gotta say something inappropriate.
Say shit, man.
You know, you gotta say something.
Well, you ain't got enough money if you was gonna be my man.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it. I'm a married man.
I'm just checking, see.
I don't swing that way. I swing with my wife. That's it.
Yeah.
You can bring 30 naked women in here.
And you wouldn't do shit.
Not a damn thing. I am loyal to my wife, loyal till death. This is a woman that I've been with for over 30 years. I believe in monogamy. Okay? Getting like electric shocks from God.
No, man. Well, it's all right if you believe in that, man.
I don't.
Then, you should be about what you believe.
I believe in monogamy.
But, I don't believe in monopoly.
I know you don't.
I do not
Boardwalk
believe
and Park Place.
I don't believe in monopoly or monogamy. Or anything with a ma in it.
All right.
I don't believe in it, man. I'm a little upset. Look, y'all know I've been trying to reach J-Lo, right? Now, she know. And she put me on hold for like a week. Like, I got through to her, right? And she said, hold 1 minute, Joe. I gotta turn something off the stove. I held that fucking phone like for a day.
Really?
She didn't come back. And I see
Sounds like a signal, man. Like she was signaling you in a certain way.
I don't know, but I saw what Ben Affleck. Now, come on, man. You gonna be with that Batman motherfucking wannabe. You know he dumped you.
She's back with him, right? She went back to him. She's just hanging out with him.
She said they're just hanging out,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
come on.
It's not hard to reach J-Lo because any public event, whether it's she sings the anthem, she's at a vaccine function.
But wait, don't wait, my woman, she works hard.
She works hard, man. She's like anywhere there's a microphone, she is so worried about losing her brand.
All I'm saying is Ben Affleck, come on, where you going back to Puffy next? Why don't you get a man that, look, I will never compete with you.
Would you go to all of her events? Because remember, A-Rod went to all of her events.
Not only that, I would fucking drum for
Ben Affleck seems to go to all. She likes to be everywhere.
Yeah.
She's sort of like the zealot of pop stars.
Everything.
Yeah, everything she does. If there's a graduation party in Queens, she's there.
Nah.
She's there.
I don't want to have to go to every fucking thing, man. You know, if the game is on. She ain't never dealt with no dudes that really into sports.
Oh, Alex Rodriguez isn't into sports.
No, that motherfucker's into cheating.
He's into steroids. That's what he's into. Yeah.
Wonder who he gonna be with next.
A-Rod?
Yeah. No, he's looking.
Oh no, he's looking when he's with you.
Well, this has just not been my week and my girl. This is for my baby, Wendy Williams. That is one of the hottest fucking women in the world. I mean, you just look at her titties and you see God.
Really?
Two gods. I'm not asking you.
I don't find her hot. Okay.
Well, she, you know, you get to be on Wendy's show. That's like going on late night in the daytime.
Okay.
And there's her name, Jocelyn Hernandez, gets on there and she gonna read Wendy. You should be fucking glad Wendy put your ass on the show.
Who is Jocelyn Hernandez?
She is a reality, right? She started out, she was a stripper. No disrespect to that. She worked her way up. She got on that one of them, either love and hip hop shows in Atlanta with some dude named Stevie J, who was a music producer, right?
Stevie Jones, no, Steve E. Sports.
I don't know. But Jocelyn started messing with Stevie J, fucked around, got into his relationship, gave him a baby. Talking about he gonna put an album together. I ain't never heard no music that they did, right? So she made her step in these reality shows. And now she got something on WeTV, I think it's Jezebel. One of them stream shows.
I hate reality TV.
So I'm looking because I want to see who is this that's on my girl Wendy. So they filming the thing, right? Now you know this is bullshit. I think it was in Miami, right? She on the highway with her cameras. Like she's looking after the life of women who are strippers, right? To get them up to that caliber where she is.
It's
So
like
she
a
gonna
level
bring,
of strippers.
she gonna bring her film crew on the strip where the chick was working. Talking about I'm there for you. You better leave Wendy Williams the fuck alone. That if you want to make it in life, you should be on that show and be grateful.
What did she say to Wendy Williams that
She
was so
told
bad?
Wendy Williams, first of all, you older than me, like almost 30-something years older than me. She said, Wendy, I got the #1 show. And that when I come on your show, you don't respect me. You don't respect any black or Latino women.
It's all about...
And you gotta give us our due. You gotta give me my due. Pretty much what she was saying is, Wendy, I'm just as successful as you are, motherfucker. Maybe even more.
All this reality TV, Wendy Williams, it's all like wrestling.
No, put Wendy in that shit.
She's the worst. She stole...
Wendy,
Let me tell you.
no.
No, I happen to know stuff. This is what I'm going to tell you.
No, you don't know shit.
Years ago, Wendy Williams was a big fan of Howard Stern. When Howard Stern first came around in the 80s and the 90s, right? Or 70s, whenever he came around.
Yeah.
And she basically stole his act. And she took his act and put it on urban radio because Howard Stern was basically talking to like white Wall Street guy kind of thing. He was, on rock radio. She goes on like, what do they call it? Urban radio?
Yeah.
And she starts doing the same kind of shit that he does. You know, he did. Now Howard Stern is...
She always acknowledged that, though.
I'm not, but that's all she is. But now with the reality TV, they like to do the wrestling thing, like where you build a feud. Like I've been trying to do that with Naima, but she doesn't like go for it. Like when we come on, I try to rile her up a little bit, so there's a feud going on because people that watch, they like feuds. That's what I'm telling you. They like feuds.
Man, let me tell you something.
They like feuds.
You can't put Wendy Williams in that same... I sit and listen to this woman talking about what she ate for dinner, man, and she sound like a fucking PhD, man.
You really? I think she's. You think she's
Wendy
sexy? I don't even like the sound of her voice.
God,
I'm not into Wendy.
hot.
But anyway, I hear somebody
The
coming.
lips, man. Oh, Wendy, baby.
So let me just before I go
I don't know
get
if
the
you
door.
dating Wendy.
You were after the Queen of England.
Yeah.
You were after Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
You were after Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
And now you're after Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams.
Can you just get like a regular woman? Maybe that's why you never get scored, because you're going after women out of your class, man.
First of all, they ain't out of my class, man. I'm letting them in my class.
Really?
What I could offer them, no man has ever offered them.
Well, why don't you tell the people while I get the door?
And I'm going to tell you why, see. Wendy Williams is the kind of woman, she like a man to treat her good, but she like a little bit of thug. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. So you take her to dinner, you want her and dine, and then when you get her home, you tell her how good she look and throw her ass on the bed, right? Just tell her to lay there naked with her legs wide open. Don't do shit, just blow on it. Drive her fucking crazy. I know how to do it. I know what these women need. Who the hell is it, man?
It's me, Steve E Sports.
My God.
Joe Keys.
What's happening, man?
They got me back again, 3
I
weeks
know.
in a row now,
What the
Joe.
hell is going
I'm back to being like a regular on this show.
What's
It's
up, man?
unbelievable.
What's up?
It's good to
What's
see you, Joe.
What you doing, man?
I've been hearing the conversations. I heard what you were saying. I don't know much about this Wendy Williams.
No, you gotta find out.
You know, I don't know much about her, but
No, she's beautiful. She's voluptuous. She got two titties that just make you want to cry like you just ate a bowl of cream of wheat. Man.
Really, I don't know much about her. I'll investigate her.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I heard this stuff about the CEOs. This country is...
They're thugs, man.
But I'm here to talk about sports.
All right, give me
Hassan gave me a review of my performance last week. She said my acting was not up to speed. And
she's the type.
she is tight. She is tight, Epstein. I don't know what he sees in her. I really don't.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother show, man. Who the fuck knows?
So here I'm here to talk about the NFL draft. They had the draft last
Good,
week
man, yeah.
on ESPN.
Yeah,
And I'm watching it, getting very excited
Me
because
too, man.
it's
Yeah.
basically a show where 30 guys, most of them African American guys,
yeah.
go from being in college working as slaves to being millionaires in the National Football League.
That's right.
And they get together and they call out which team drafts you, right? And then they
right.
show a picture of the guy with his family. And they're all excited when his name gets called because it's like he wins the lottery.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
everybody dances and cries and kisses. There was actually a woman who actually started touching her own titties. I'm not making that up.
Man, I love
But that's not what
saw
I...
that.
You saw that, right?
Oh.
I don't remember who her relative was.
After that, I just stayed.
You know, you
like
see
this,
them, and it makes you happy because you see young men who are now going to be rich. You're not thinking about maybe in 5 or 7 years when they have, brain injuries from all the concussions and all the arthritis in their knees, and the fact that many of them will be killing themselves later in life. because of all the concussions and all the ridiculousness
Watch
of
your
playing.
voice, man. Yeah.
I'm losing it, right?
Yeah.
Can I get it back? I have to go loud. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When a Jew talks, he needs loud.
Okay, man.
So I turn on the show exactly at 8 o'clock because I want to
That's
see who
when
the
it came on.
first pick. That's the big one, the first pick.
Yeah.
I get on, and what do they have on? They're showing a concert from Kings of Leon.
I thought something was wrong with my television.
When I first turned it on, I was thinking to myself, those guys, Kings of Leon, I mean, who the hell are the Kings of Leon? Then I realized, oh yeah, they had like a couple of hit songs maybe 10 years ago. They all look kind of like middle-aged Southern white guys now, out of shape. None of them stayed in shape after they made their millions.
Yeah.
And they're singing. I'm thinking, all right, this got to be some mistake.
Like a commercial, I thought it was.
But no, the Kings of Leon. The NFL can't get like somebody good. They got to get the Kings of Leon.
I would have even preferred if they got one of them rappers, Little Baby. Something.
Anybody. Then I'm thinking maybe
Little
the Kings of
something.
Leon. The real name is Leon King, and there's some football player because those guys had put on a few pounds since they were sex symbols.
Yeah.
I never knew why they were sex symbols. I always thought they kind of sucked when they were the big Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
But why were the Kings of Leon
Some kind of
on
deal,
for
man.
20 minutes? They didn't make the first pick until 8:25. Meanwhile, ESPN, how much money did they make? Every single company in the world has like an insignia. It's like a corporate orgy of selling you shit. That's what the NFL draft is.
Absolutely.
Years ago, they would read it off, and guys would get them up, and they'd talk. Well, this guy's good. Nobody knows. So I thought to myself, this is more of how America's going down the drain. Then who comes out? The CEO of the NFL.
The thug.
He has his chair that he was in last year because they couldn't do it live because of the COVID. So they had a fan from each city to sit on his chair. Like you're sitting on the king's chair. He's the head of the NFL.
That's right.
He makes like $50 million a year to be the head of the NFL. Did you know that? His father was a United States Senator from New York, Charles Goodell. This is his son.
Yeah.
So this is more shit making me nauseous about America. I want to watch football. I want to see manly men smash each other and touch each other's asses. I like that.
Even choosing that group, like
The Kings of Leon? Somebody paid to get the Kings of Leon up there for 20 minutes. That didn't just come free. The NFL didn't go, you know what,
Were they selling a song?
They got a new album coming out, so the record label must have had some kind of
deal.
It's some corporate shit, but you put them up there for 2 seconds, maybe 20 minutes of the fucking Kings of Leon? Are you fucking kidding me, NFL?
Fucked up, man.
Even if they put some hot chicks up there shaking their asses, shaking their titties.
Yeah.
Even Wendy Williams, have her show some tits.
I'd have fainted.
But the Kings of Leon? What is next in this world? I don't have much more time.
Katy Perry, man. That's the next one.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
This is Stevie Sports on Dirty Truth Tellers News. Thank you very much.
That's my man, Stevie. Loud as hell, but he made a point, man. That's some deep shit. Did you hear Stevie?
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I had the same thought about the Kings of Leon. I was like, why are they on? Really? Like, why would the Kings of Leon on that show? Nobody can explain it. Nobody can. No one. But if somebody knows that, if you know about that, if you know about why guys get $10,500 an hour.
If you can get in contact, right now, this week is Wendy Williams.
If you know Wendy Williams or Jocelyn Hernandez, I read that she said that Wendy Williams was 35 years older than her. So I looked up Jocelyn Hernandez's age. Jocelyn Hernandez is 34. So Wendy Williams is not 69 years old.
No, she's not.
That was just some vicious stuff.
She will do a 69.
No, yeah, I'm sure she'll do it. Allegedly, please.
This is my dream. Like in my mind.
Yeah.
We 69 and 72, 85 and 43.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much. Let
Wendy,
her song
I
come
love
back.
you.
I forgot that she has to return. I thought you were closing the show.
You. I mean, I can.
Nah, we'll bring her song back.
Fucking now it's going. All the fun is gone.
Yeah, well, that's damn sure. It's all gone. She's so serious. She is really serious.
That's the black one you got, man.
But you know, it's really amazing because just like Stevie Sports, I was wondering like, why are the Kings of Leon in the NFL draft? And it's all this corporate crap, and you know that's really my my main problem in the world today. We've had a corporate coup d'etat in the United States, the corporate coup d'etat. It's not like a normal coup d'etat, but it's been very effective. Where corporations now decide everything. Like they decide when the COVID is over, then they're going to raise the price of the COVID. Not the government, not the the health agencies. And after their performance, it's just very. You can't say anything that's true. If you say that Trump is the person who sped up the vaccine thing, people that hate Trump, they don't want to admit it. They don't want to say it. True, he didn't distribute it well. Biden has done a great job of distributing the vaccine, but it was Trump's vision to get the vaccine out here so that people could go back to buying shit and shopping. Like after 9/11, when George War Criminal Bush, that's what the W is for, war criminal, when he told people after 9/11, just go shop. That's what we need to do. That's what America's about. But the corporations... Hassan, you're knocking? You don't have a key?
No, I don't.
You missed some great Stevie Sports, and your boy Joe, man, he's into Wendy Williams.
I know. He asked me on the way out if I could send
Yeah, he
him
figured
an
because
email.
you were black, you might know her, I guess. Like
No,
that black friendship
he
thing.
knows that I've watched her show, and he just, he really likes her. He
We all
admires her.
like different people.
Yeah.
So, you have a shout out tonight?
Oh, yes. I don't know if any of you saw that show. Let me do my news. Pose. Okay? If you ever saw Pose, or if you ever saw Burning in Paris, to me, those two...
Burning in Paris.
Yeah. Did you see it?
Is that the name of it? Wasn't it Paris is Burning?
Paris is Burning or Burning... Yeah.
No, it
yes.
makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, if you saw Pose, how it touched my heart was that you learned about what the concept of family is outside of how we are traditionally taught what a family is. And the person who was the creator, Janet Mock, okay, she was the first transgender woman to write for a series. And I am giving Janet a shout out because
Janet. I've seen her on things.
Yes,
She's pretty.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
she's
Let
pretty,
me read. She said, "Fuck Hollywood." Pacing once she took the microphone. This makes you uncomfortable? It should. It should make you fucking shake in your motherfucking boots. This is speaking the truth. This is what Pose is. Why am I making so little amount of money an episode, huh? Do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know what I fucking mean? And she said, I am angry. This is the truth. And she created a form that, we've had a lot of people like Madonna do Vogue and show you a generic image of what the life is of these extremely creative people. And on Pose, she took their life. And I felt like I knew those people. I felt like I was in their lives. And the stories were heartfelt. And the fact that it's not on mainstream television, I can understand it. And it definitely needs to be there.
So she gave a fuck you to Hollywood?
Yes.
So let's give because we don't have an official fuck you tonight. Yeah. So let's also give a fuck you, bring them out.
Yes.
Yeah, this
is Africa.
Africa and Buddy. So you guys ready? We're going to give Buddy, you can't even see your face, man. Whoa. Wow.
Yeah.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
On the count of three. One, two, three.
Fuck you, Hollywood. Yes. And we give a thumbs up.
Let's do it again. Don't block your face.
Okay.
Don't. You're blocking your face. Put her over there somewhere.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Ready? One.
Wait, she said she can't be seen. Okay. There you go.
Ready?
One, two, three.
Fuck you, Hollywood. That was good. All right, Hassan.
Yes. And to Janet Mock, we say, we love you, we support you, we salute you, and don't get deterred. You keep doing and creating the message that you're creating. Yes.
Well, that's the news for today. We're Epstein and Hassan, the Dirty Truth Tellers. Don't go anywhere. The Jackies will be here with something to say. Thank you very much. We're Epstein and Hassan.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't deal with Steve E. Sports. His yelling is it's uncomfortable to my ears, man.
I think that's anti-Semitic. That sounded
What's that got to do
No,
with anything?
because
What does he
he's-
yell?
He's Jewish, so they're all Jews are a little hard of hearing.
Oh, that is anti-Semitic.
I don't think so.
Now you're saying all Jewish people have a hard time hearing?
They are all hard
That
of
is
hearing.
such
That's
bullshit.
not anti-Semitic. The only thing anti-Semitic is if you say something bad about, let's say, pastrami. That's anti-Semitic. But
You're the one that said it. I just said he yells too much.
because he's Jewish.
Yeah, and you really think she's gonna get Epstein to just read the news and not comment?
Let me say something about the Kings of Leon. I love that band. When they said
Oh, get out. No, you
No,
don't.
I love them. I love that kind of singing. You somebody, be somebody. I watched the other.
So what are they, Girl Scouts? What the hell are you talking about?
But what I'm really mad at are these CEOs.
Yeah.
$10,500 an hour for what?
Yeah, they need it.
For what? Is he giving 20,000 blowjobs a day to his
They
workers?
need it.
What is he doing for 10 grand a
They'd
day?
rather they have it than you have it.
You know who's a lot of CEOs are Jewish, I heard.
That's
Wow.
not true. That's not fair.
A lot
Don't
of
say
hard
that.
of hearing Jews.
No, there's all kinds of CEOs. Every race, every color. You name
But
it.
the
they're
Jewish
here.
ones talk loud, they yell, they scream.
Yeah, but what are we going to do about him reading the news? He keeps commenting.
He can't help himself.
He can't keep commenting, though. He has to just read it.
I heard Epstein was Jewish.
Yeah,
Fuck Niels.
yeah.